Let's get ready to focus on our issues, our solutions, using our voices on Black Focus Radio.
Welcome to Black Focus, the show designed with our community in mind, where we focus on our issues, developing our solutions, using our voices. Central Arkansas, surrounding areas, and the nation. Get ready. Black Focus starts right now. Phone lines open at 855-525-5683. So here's your host, David W. Coleman and Robert Webb.
Hey, what's happening? Welcome to Black Focus Radio. Our issues, our solutions, our voices on joinetradio.com. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We probably going to focus on one thing today. I came in planning to talk about one thing, and, this is, I tell you all the time, you say, well, why do you have to have a program on every day? Because news happens every day. As a matter of fact, news turnover is about every 6 hours now. Okay? So I came in with one subject, and we're going to look, it's Amber Guyger, man. I'm going to tell you. And I'm going to chastise myself. And, Tanya already been on Facebook chastising me about what I said the last few weeks. But I ain't mad. All right? So we'll get into all of that today as well. Woo! Lord have mercy. This is one trial that I have followed more than any other, because as I said a couple of days ago, this would be a seminal moment. So I guess we'll have to wait for another one. But I'll get into all that here in a moment. Robert Webb will be along here. He's running a little late today, so we'll talk to him in just a few minutes. So let's go ahead and get all the proper things out of the way so we can get down to business. You know what I'm saying? Business.
Dynamic Black Facts. Our culture, our history, our people.
All right, today's Black Facts is going to be dealing with Mary Bowser. Mary Bowser. Are you familiar with who she is? Well, let me just tell you who Mary Bowser is, okay? Mary Bowser was a servant for the Confederate President Jefferson Davis in Richmond. No one suspected she was feeding vital information to the Union. In the early 1860s, at the height of the Civil War, Confederate President Jefferson Davis became a very paranoid man. His army was struggling against the Union, which was getting mysteriously better and better at predicting his moves. Davis suspected a mole somewhere in his government leaking information. He was right and wrong. There was indeed a mole, but it was a servant at the Confederate White House in Richmond, a freed slave with a photographic memory who, in addition to caring for his wife's dresses, slipped the North valuable secrets from Davis's own desk. Her name was Mary Bowser. Hers is one of the great but infrequently told spy stories in American history. A shame. Some historians and others who write about the Civil War, because it is a tale with an enduring and important lesson. Bowser used the assumption that she was far less intelligent than her white employees against them. By playing to that stereotype, she becomes an intelligence agent and therefore proves the value of black intelligence at undermining the institution of slavery itself. One of her books on Bowser, on Bowser by Lois Levine, said that discussing the spy's legacy in 2013 during a panel discussion at the Museum of Confederacy in Richmond, this is a humdinger of a tale, said Elizabeth Varon. Varon detailed Bowser's life and spy capers in a 2003 book, Southern Lady, Yankee Spy. Talking about a great movie, man. Gosh. The book is primarily a biography of Elizabeth Van Lew, a well-known Richmond society figure and daughter of prominent slave owners. Van Lew is the second humdinger in this story. She abhorred slavery, and when the war broke out, she decided to do something about it. Van Lew stayed in the family mansion with her mother during the war, according to Karen Abbott, the author of Liar, Temptress, Soldier, Spy, Four Women Uncover in the Civil War. From there, she ran a spy ring known as the Richmond Underground. Her spy methods were not particularly sophisticated, but the information her agents provided to General Ulysses S. Grant, especially during the siege of Richmond, was crucial. One of those spies was Mary Bowser. She was born around 1840 while her parents were enslaved by the Van Lew's family. The Van Lew's had conflicted feelings about slavery, though. Elizabeth sent Bowser north to be educated during her teenage years. Later, she did a missionary work in Liberia. She returned to Richmond. Bowser was arrested. It was illegal. Van Lew wrote in her journal, "O army of my country, how glorious was your welcome." Grant was so pleased with her work here for today.
For more dynamic Black facts, our culture, our history, our people, on TrueNetRadio.com.
Now, I gotta tell y'all something. Until I read this story the other day, I never heard of Mary Bowser. I've done a lot of research on Civil War, on the South, on history in general. Until I read this story the other day, I had never heard of Mary Bowser, the American spy who helped bring down the Confederacy, especially in Richmond. By the way, a black woman. That's why I love me some history, man. You see what I'm saying? Y'all see what I'm saying? Man, don't tell me black people ain't done nothing for this country. Man, y'all free because of black folks. Here's a woman who was free at one point, came back to Richmond, was enslaved because of a law that said a free black person can't come to a slave state, was arrested, was bailed out by a family or a young lady in a family who owned slaves, and that young lady detested slavery. A white woman, by the way. Don't tell me there aren't any good white women. Don't tell me there aren't any good white people. Don't tell me that you white people out there are afraid that you won't do what's right. Where are them white people at? Okay? Where are all the white people out there who want to do what's right? I know you're out there. I know you out there. I know some of you. Don't be afraid. Together we are more powerful. I'm just saying. But Mary Bowser, who worked in the Confederate White House, was sewing messages into the seams of dresses and sending them to Van Lew, who then was transporting them to Ulysses S. Grant. And the irony is that they thought that Mary Bowser was so stupid. Mary Bowser had a photogenic memory. In other words, she could look at something and repeat it verbatim. She can look at the plans. I'm just loving this. And the irony, and here's the other irony to that, is that Jefferson Davis was paranoid because he knew, or he felt like somehow or another their plans are getting out. Every time they made a move, it would be countered by the U.S. troops, the North. And that was all because of Mary Bowser. Man, isn't that ironic today? That on the great news that we've gotten today, that we just learned about Mary Bowser, the black woman who was instrumental in bringing down Richmond. I want to give a shout out to Mary Bowser. Hey, Mary. Hey, Mary. Hey, Mary. I'm sorry. I'm a little giddy today. I got some good news. You got some good news today. We all got some good news today. That's our black fact for today. By the way, if you want to sponsor Black Facts, and I don't get as giddy about Black Facts as like this every day, but I love it when I learn something new. That's what really excites me is knowledge. And, no one knows everything. And the great thing about someone who is a seeker of knowledge like myself, I look forward to learning new stuff. I look forward to being wrong about things that I had different opinions on. I'm just saying. Mary Bowser. All right. That's just wonderful. All right, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get into the Amber Guyger trial. Yeah, Amber Guyger. She's guilty. She deserves everything she gets. Back in a moment.
Hello to quality time at Marco's. Hello to being the game changer and original. And to those who make it authentic, we say hello with the Founder Select Pizza, Old World pepperoni, sliced Italian sausage, mushrooms, on dough made fresh every day, and a sauce from the original Gianmarco recipe. Hello to an Old World original. Every store, every day, the Italian way. Hello, Primo.
Serving the families of Clark County and the surrounding area since 1966, it's Mitchell Funeral Home. Understanding that a funeral is a celebration of life, the entire staff of Mitchell Funeral Home takes great pride in the caring, personal, and professional service they offer. Cremations, funeral plannings, burial policies, life insurance, notary, and monument sales are a few.
What's up, Alvin?
How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right.
Hey, you gonna be in the office today, or are you out today?
I'm here.
You gonna be there? Oh, you there?
Yeah.
I've got a couple of downloads from one of my sponsors. I need to see if I can get on that on the board. I need to either you walk me through that or you do it for me. So you're gonna go on the air when?
I'm on the air now. I'll be here till 2.
Okay, I'll try to get in there just before you get out.
Okay, that's cool.
And then, okay, talk to you then. Thanks.
Okay.
I kick above, remove the guesswork and intimidation, and offer me a very supportive and structured environment specific to my personal goals. Kim Leopard and her certified personal trainers even offered nutritional guidelines for my personal workout. It's about me at a kick above. Call 501-868-8850 or go to akickabove.com. Now, what am I wearing tonight? Thanks to a kick above, I look marvelous.
Hi, this is Alvin from Habibi's 4317 East Broadway in North Little Rock. We still have the green top at your very next stop. The same great service for more on it. Give us a call, 501-663-1553 or 664-2992 or call our toll-free number 1-877-HABIBI-RUN. Diapers, products, hospital gas, wheelchairs, Simply Fit, diabetic supplies, underpants, and more. Your durable medical supply center.
Hell to the old gold, hell to the black. The Little Rock Central High football Tigers are back. Those football coach Kent Left to lead the Tigers into a promising 2019 football season. Catch all of our game action.
Say what?
Instead of waiting on the call, trying to see if I got time to hang out with you for a little while. Prepare on this call.
Oh, okay.
Exciting play-by-play analysis. Hell to the old gold, hell to the black. The Little Rock Central High football Tigers are back right here on JohnNRadio.com.
Whoa, Nelly Bozo! Somebody they gonna get a chance to kick the balloon in the bucket. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a little giddy today. I'm trying not to gloat. After all, look, let me go ahead and do my mea culpa right now. Okay? I said that Amber Guyger would be found not guilty. I'm admitting I have failed you. I have sinned. Okay, all right. I did say that. And let me tell you why I said that. Because police officers typically don't get convicted. And I had also said that if she was found not guilty, this would be a seminal moment in black consciousness. So we're going to have to wait for, unfortunately, another moment. Okay? Because black people will be satisfied with this. And I watched the press conference. I was actually producing another show, but I had another earpiece in, and I watched the press conference of the lawyers for Botham Jean's family. And I love the fact that they named many of those black people who had been killed by police. I love the fact that they said that this was justice for Trayvon Martin and all the others, Eric Garner and Mike Brown, you know, and all of the others. They named about 10 or 15 people because this is justice in a way. In a way. See, justice really won't be served until she's sentenced. Now, let me hip you to something that I learned earlier while I was sneaking and listening to the press conference while doing Roselle Aaron's show. Okay? Here's what I learned. That if they sentence her for anywhere between less than 10 years or less, she will be able to be out on appeal. That means outside walking around until her appeal is completed. If they sentence her to 11 years or more, she'll be able to appeal, but she'll have to do it behind bars. Okay? So the key now is we're hoping that the jury throws the book at her. I hope she get 99 years. In fact, you know, Texas is one of them states that still got the death penalty. Now, it won't be on to me to want to put someone to death because I don't necessarily believe in the death penalty. But wouldn't it be just sweet? Wouldn't it just be sweet to sentence her to death? Because after all, see, yesterday afternoon, you know what I did? This is one trial, Roselle, you're actually standing on our banners. Oh. Okay. Yesterday, see, I've been following this trial for a long time. I've been following from the day it happens, okay? Because, you know, I know a lot of people, for them, it's tough because this happens so often. But the only way you can really understand this country is look at its laws. Look at its difference in how it applies to different people. That's what I do. Okay? So we can't turn a blind eye when these things happen and become desensitized and say, oh, well, it just happens all the time. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of us have done. But here was a woman who literally broke into a man's house, shot and killed him. And I keep thinking about the story of Mr. Ellison here in Little Rock. I keep thinking about that. And in some respect, when I said that she was going to be found not guilty, I was thinking about Mr. Ellison here in Little Rock. See, some of you all that don't live here, that are listening from other parts of the country, there is a story. No, let me say that it's not a story. There was a case here in Little Rock where a older black man had his door open and two police decided to walk in his door. He ended up dead. No one knows except those two police officers. When they were tried, they were found not guilty. How the hell are you going to walk into someone's house and kill them uninvited? There wasn't a police emergency there. He just happened to have his door open. And they killed him. Now, one of those officers she's like at the training academy here in Little Rock. Kind of like Betty Shelby in Oklahoma. You know, remember when she murdered Terrence Crutcher on video? On video? And Line said she thought he was reaching through. He turned into the magic Negro, and he reached through a glass window for a weapon that they never found. In other words, the window was rolled up when she said he was reaching through the window. By the way, he was walking away from her. She shot him in the back multiple times. See, when I said that she was going to get off, all of these things. I forgot. Remember Philando Castile? Remember him? You know, the guy who was doing what he was supposed to do and ended up getting shot anyway. Y'all remember him? You don't? Or Trayvon Martin. Oh my gosh. Or what about the little girl, was it Ayanna Presley in Chicago? The 7-year-old girl? What about her? So I'm saying all of those things were in my mind when I was saying that she was not going to be found guilty. Now, in my heart, I was hoping that she would, because I think Dallas was going to erupt. In fact, I don't think just Dallas was going to erupt. I think there were going to be multiple cities that were going to erupt. I think there were multiple cities were going to erupt because, as I said earlier in this week, is that if a black man can't be safe in his home from the government, then he'll never be safe. And if that's the case, then black people must respond. Now, I'm not saying violence, but we must respond. In other words, we have to say to ourselves and to our children that we've had enough of rogue police officers. We've had enough of police officers who decide that they want to be the judge, the jury, and the executioners. And more importantly, we've had enough of juries comprised of predominantly white people who say, regardless of the evidence, that it's okay to murder black people, regardless of the evidence, regardless of the situation. We've seen that too many times at times. And more importantly, we have to say to police that you are not above the law. If this country is going to live up to its creed, it has never done so, but if it is striving to do that, then it must tell police that they are not above the law. Period. If you lie on a public document, there should be consequences. If you lie in a case to convict, there should be consequences. We talked last week about the list that prosecuting attorneys are developing around the country. The Brady list, where certain officers, when they make arrest, they cannot call them to testify because of their credibility. So my question is, why are taxpayers still paying those officers? If they are not good enough to be called to testify when they make an arrest, then they should not be on the police force. It's time for us. It's time for the American citizens. That's why I tell you that, hey, you need to read the Constitution. If you haven't read it lately, read it again. If you never read it, go read it. You must begin to understand the laws by which you are governed. And there is no man, not even the president, although he thinks he is above the law, but there is no man under the Constitution of the United States that... All right, welcome back to the show. I do everything around here. I'm even the doorman. But that's okay. I enjoy doing it. And that's why I can make sure I can let people in I want in, and people that I don't want in, I just ignore them when they knock. I was about to ignore that knock for a moment. Hey, Robert.
What's happening, man?
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
That's good. That's good. I'm feeling, and by the way, Latanya has been throwing shade at us today.
What's up?
Because we yesterday said that Amber Guyger would be, she would be found not guilty.
I did say that.
Yeah.
I did say that.
Yeah, I did too. I've already owned up to mine as to why. So I'm certainly, if you would like, I'll give you the opportunity as well to state why you felt like she would be found not guilty. In fact, I'm gonna be totally honest. I'm shocked. I thought, and I thought, I'll be honest, that the black people on that jury and the Hispanics on that jury were not real black people and Hispanics. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that.
I was worried.
I get that.
Because there's a lot of them. Because see, here's the other thing. Hispanics don't necessarily like black people.
True.
Okay?
Yeah.
Not all, but some.
Yeah.
And it's part of racism that the white supremacy that has affected them as well.
Right.
Okay? So I'm thinking, even though they had 4 Hispanics, I was thinking that the Hispanics were going to go with the white folks. And they were going to outrule the 5 black jurors. And I was thinking that the 5 black jurors, 1 or 2 of them was going to be, their middle names were going to be Tom. I was just thinking. I'm telling the truth. They are always there.
I'm in agreement with you all the way through.
So,
but the one thing I have to disagree with is I'm hearing everybody, even Bokum John's family, say that this is for all of the other guys. No, it's not.
I agree.
It's not. It's totally different. It's not even close to
No.
the others. I mean, this one was, in my opinion, this one was cut and dry. He was in his house. It wasn't a traffic stop. Nothing about this resembles the other unarmed black man being shot. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I know people want to feel good about this and they want to make it, make this like the beginning of people saying now people see police differently. No, none of that fits into this story. This story is totally different than all the others we've talked about before. It's different than Freddie Gray. Mm-hmm. It's different than Mike Brown. It's different than Philando Castile. It's different than Trayvon Martin. It's different than all those put together. Mm-hmm. None of these, not one of those resembles this one. I'll tell you what's unique. When Mr. Ellison was shot inside his own home by 2 off-duty Little Rock police officers, they never went to trial. Never went. Mm-hmm. Now, when Bobby Moore was shot by Hastings, it went to trial twice. Hung jury. Mm-hmm. Totally different ballgame, man. We're not having a conversation about the same things. So no, for me, no. This is not some kind of they made it right for everybody else. Nah, not even close.
I agree.
And you did not convict the man who shot Walter Scott, who was running away.
No.
Take that back. They did.
Well, they did convict him.
They did convict him. But here you are.
Only because of video evidence.
Well, the video evidence doesn't work because your girl in Oklahoma, that was video evidence to justify that she shouldn't have shot him.
Yeah, but remember, he was planning stuff. That's what tripped him up.
But again, this in no way makes up for those acquittals or these people not even going to trial.
Right, non-trials.
Doesn't make up for it. Not even close. Mm-hmm. I can't even let people have that conversation because, no, that's not the truth. Mm-hmm. It's not the truth. Not even close. Not even close at all.
Oh, I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
So, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, we're going to take the top of the hour break. When we come back, we'll talk more about this because there are still some issues laying out there about this trial. That being Mr. Rivera. I don't know if you watched the press conference, but her married lover, they were obstructing justice because they were getting rid of evidence.
Did they press charges against him?
They're getting ready to.
Sounds good.
Anyway, we'll take the top of the hour break. Hey, appreciate everybody joining us. If you want to call in, you got some comments about the Amber Guyger trial. We'll probably talk about a lot of this for the rest of the day. You're listening to Black Focus Radio on joynetradio.com.
Business owner. Can I talk to you for a moment? How many people have come up to you and said, hey, I didn't know you had a business? Yeah, that could happen when you don't advertise. I have a solution. Advertise on joynetradio.com and let the world know that you're in business. I know what you're thinking. Advertising is so expensive. I've got a great package for you that will cut your expense and increase your bottom line. It's only $125 for startup of your businesses. Call me, David W. Coleman, 615-554-0568, and I'll put together a package specifically for your business. Now is the time to tell the world, hey, I'm in business. Come spend your money on quality goods in my store. Let us help you at joynetradio.com. Here's the number. Call me, 615-554-0568. We are here to assist you in building your brand.
Hi, I'm attorney Guyger from Thompson Law Firm, and I want to help with your legal matters. Whether it's criminal defense, bankruptcy, personal injury, or family law, I want to help you. I can be reached at 501-503-5095. Don't face your legal issues alone. You need an attorney whose primary objective is to provide you with the best legal record. Our office address is 415 North Virginia, Suite 710 in Little Rock. I'm attorney Guyger, and I want to provide you with the best legal record.
Who done it? The butler done it. Butler Furniture Depot.
Butler Furniture Depot is your back-to-school headquarters. All college students, fraternities, and sororities get a two-piece living room set for only $3.99, or take advantage of our four-piece living room special, which includes sofa, love seat, chair, and ottoman for only $5.99. Quantities are limited.
Who done it? The butler done it. Butler Furniture Depot.
Or what about an extra thick queen-size mattress, full or queen size, for only $2.98, or an Ashley signature four-piece bedroom set for $4.99?
I am kind of glad though. It is. It's kind of like the feeling of OJ. You know what I'm saying? Different trials, but
Your back-to-school headquarters.
a black man got justice. I said a black man, not all black men, because that rarely happens. That rarely happens, and that's sad.
Well, it's sad that you have to celebrate.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Understanding that a funeral is a celebration of life.
Sad
The
you
entire
gotta
staff of
celebrate
the
some
funeral
shit
home
like
takes great pride in caring, personal, and professional service they offer. Cremations, funeral plannings, burial policies, life insurance, notary, and monument sales are a few of the services we offer. Mitchell Funeral Home, Arkadelphia, 870-246-2611. Mitchell Funeral. Quality you can appreciate, service you can depend on.
You got it. He's the Rock's answer to your aggravation. The Joy Network.
The views and opinions expressed today on Black Focus Radio are not the views and opinions of the station, its management, or its advertisers. Now, let's get ready to focus on our issues, our solutions, using our voices on Black Focus Radio.
Welcome to Black Focus, the show designed with our community in mind, where we focus on our issues, developing our solutions, using our voices. Central Arkansas, surrounding areas, and the nation. Get ready. Black Focus starts right now. Phone lines open at 855-525-5683. So here's your host, David W. Coleman and Robert Webb.
Hey, what's happening? Welcome back to the second hour of Black Focus Radio. Our issues, our solutions, our voices. 855-525-5683 is the number. If you want to weigh in on the Amber Guyger situation, what's on your mind about it? What do you think? How do you feel? I think the most important thing right now is the sentencing phase, which started at 1 o'clock. In fact, it started right now. So we'll find out what her sentence will be. Now, let me clarify again what I said to you earlier, that here's the bottom line. she has a right to appeal this verdict. Now, here are the differences in the two. Here are the differences in the two. All right? The difference is that if she's sentenced for 10 years or less, then she will be able to appeal while free. In other words, she's still convicted of murder, but while her appeal is going on, she'll be walking around free. You all understand that, right? Now, if it's over 10 years, Tanya, I know, just be quiet, quit rushing, okay? Take your time. If it's over 10 years, she said, not if it's over 10 years. I know, I'm getting to that, Tanya.
I tell you now, just be happy with the guilty verdict. Don't try to.
If it's over 10 years, well, if it's over 10 years, in other words, if it's over 10 years, she will still have the right to appeal, but she will have to do it behind bars. So it ain't over. If the jury is the jury that we're hoping that it is, she needs to get more than 10 years. Okay? In fact, as far as I'm concerned.
So what was she found not guilty of first? Then that'll tell us what we're looking at.
She was not found not guilty of anything.
No, what was she found guilty of?
Murder.
She's found guilty of murder in the first degree?
Yes, murder. It's a 5 to 99 year potential sentence. In fact, I'm sitting here looking at the Texas statute because that was the first thing I looked at.
5 to 99.
Now, manslaughter, that could have been 7 years, parole and 3, she's out on the street. But murder, no.
Texas, they get the death penalty. Why is it not on the table?
Well,
why is it not on the table?
Well, they didn't.
Why is it not on the table?
I've already talked about that, Robert, when you were gone.
Tell me why it's not on the table.
It would be ironic if she got the death penalty.
Why would that be ironic? Did she commit cold-blooded murder?
Yes, she did.
Was she found guilty of
she clearly said on the stand that when she saw the door ajar, she was planning to kill whoever was in there. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what she said. She wasn't going in there to investigate. See, that's where her argument fell down.
Why is she not?
Is that before
Why is she not being charged with? Why is the death penalty on the table? She issued the death penalty. Why can't she get it?
I agree, but that's one thing. If they were going to go for death, they would have had to present that during the trial.
Okay, so now everybody's making the assumption she's going to get like this ridiculous amount of years for this murder, right?
I think she's going to get 10 or less. I hate to be a naysayer, a wet blanket.
They can give her 5 years, right?
They can give her 5 years.
She's going to get 5 years.
You see what I'm saying?
She's going to get 5 years, about a quarter.
I don't think she's going. That's what I'm saying. Where people are saying justice was served, wait till the sentencing. We'll find out if justice was served, because based on her testimony, what murder is premeditated.
Premeditation, yeah.
Okay, so when she went in that door, based on her own testimony, not innuendo, what someone extrapolating out of something she said her intent was, and that's why I watched the closing arguments from the district attorney yesterday. He was on point. He stressed that to the juror, that before she opened that door, her intent was to kill whoever was in there. Those were her words, and her actions dictated that. She did not see the rug. That loud red rug. She did not see the red light that was on the fob that showed that her key was not the right key. When she went in that house, she wasn't concerned about she was in the wrong house by simply observing the contents of that apartment, the smells of that apartment. They said, even though there was no proof, she said there was a loud odor of marijuana. So why would there be a loud odor of marijuana in your apartment, Amber Guyger? More importantly, you said, Amber Guyger, that it was dark, but in fact, the television was on and his computer was on. She had intent to kill Botham Jean. That's not me saying that. I'm paraphrasing what the district attorney argued in his closing yesterday. He was on point. Now, if that is true, and apparently it was based on the guilty verdict, then she needs more than 10 years. Now, if she's going to get that, I don't know. I hate to say it. I'm still being a Doubting Thomas right now. Yeah, I said she wasn't going to be convicted. I hope I'm wrong again. I'm hoping she gets 20, 15 or 20. But I don't think she will. I just don't. I just don't. And what about Ranger Rogers?
How much time should he get?
Ranger Rogers, he was the one that got on the stand and said, I think she was well within her right to shoot and kill that man in his apartment. Ranger Rogers was black, by the way. His name is Armstrong.
Everybody's saying 5 years. Yeah, I agree with you, Robin.
Yeah,
I agree with
I think it's going to be 5 years, too.
5 years. That's the max they can get.
So she'll be able to appeal.
That ain't justice.
No, it isn't. She'll be walking around on appeal for another year to 2 years.
So all y'all out there talking about this is making up for everything. Hell no. And don't say it to me, because you say it to me, I'm slap you.
So you're right, Tanya. She was texting her lover, her married lover, 2 days after she killed Botham John, talking about she wanted to get drunk and get busy.
That's what she actually said.
Yeah. 2 days after she killed this man. And by the way, her lover, another police officer who's married, destroyed evidence.
How did he destroy evidence, Craig?
Because they went through their phones and tried to clean up their phones and their conversations. So, what's going to happen to Officer Rivera? I hope you got a good divorce lawyer, number one, but you're going to need two. Oh, that's right, you're in the union, so the union is probably going to put up your attorney fees. But they ain't going to put up your divorce fees. And if your wife is smart, because it's pretty clear that y'all been getting busy quite a long time. Wifey going to put that together. Oh, so when you said you were on the clock, you were really on the clock. I'm just saying. 855-525-5683. Where if justice is served, she gets more than 10 years. If she gets anything under 10 years, then justice has not been served. Yes, she was convicted. But you know what? In 5 years, she'll change her identity. She'll get married. She'll have babies and live a relatively happy, obscure life. Because you know what else is going to happen? And I guarantee you that it's already happening.
What's that?
A GoFundMe account for Amber Guyger.
That's already underway.
I guarantee you it's already happening. I guarantee you that there are white people across this country, racist and not, who are already sending this woman money. Now, LaTanya, because, see, LaTanya is crowing because LaTanya is the one who was saying, oh, she's going to be convicted. So now Tanya is saying she's going to get more than 10 years.
Nope.
So
Bet your quarter.
there's an old Negro spiritual, LaTanya. It's called We Will See. Sing it with me. We will see. We will see. We will see. We'll see. We will see. We'll see. I hope so. I'm just happy that she was. Let me take that back. You know, the other day, Robert, and you tried to chastise me, and you hurt my feeling.
I would never try to chastise
You hurt my feeling when I was trying to make a very salient point. I went home and cried all of 2 seconds. It's probably because I got something in my eye. I was cooking onions. But I said that if she was not convicted, this was going to be a seminal moment in black consciousness.
Mm-hmm. And you believe this is a seminal moment?
No, it isn't, because it didn't happen. Okay, Tanya's harassing us now. Tanya, stop harassing Robert. Okay,
Let me go holler at Tanya.
I bet you that a quarter that, I'll bet you a quarter and raise you a quarter, Robert. Okay, you own, little sister. little sister.
Oh, she bet me 50 cents.
She bet me a quarter and bet you a quarter. You own like popcorn. I got to save up that money, but I'll have it by next year.
I'm going to borrow mine from the bank.
But no, what I was saying was that because she wasn't convicted, black people can say, whew, we ain't got to fight now. We can just keep on going the way we've been going. Because had she been not convicted, has she been found not guilty, I believe Dallas was going to explode. And I believe there were going to be some other cities that were going to explode.
I don't think so.
I just do.
I just hate to say I don't think so.
I just think, see, there's an underlying current that's going on right now.
Black folks ain't going to do that.
See, there you go again. Hey, no, you don't like black people, do you?
I love black folks, but I know they ain't going to do nothing.
Well, your generation, they done. They too busy driving their little Lexuses, you know, and they running their little businesses, you know, smiling at the white man, you know, your generation. But I'm telling you, I'm just saying, man.
Black folks ain't going to do it.
These young folks was about to rock the world. I'm going to tell you. So we've got to wait again. But my point in bringing that up is that we shouldn't have to wait for the next time.
That's right, Kim. She got the complexion for the connection, for the protection. That's right. That's right.
What do you mean she got the connection for the protection?
Kim Forger said she has the complexion for the protection, and I agree with that. I totally agree.
Well, I'm just saying, it's good that y'all can smile. Now tomorrow they go out and shoot some more black folks. Y'all be mad again.
Whatever.
Don't. My point is, don't wait till this happens again. What you ought to be doing, what we ought to be doing, is planning.
Let's deviate for 10 minutes and come back to this. So you know, yesterday they had the. Did you see the article in the paper today about the teachers union?
Which one?
No, LREA.
I have not. I don't read the local paper. I don't read the local paper. It's a rag.
We gotta discuss that.
It's a rag.
So they talked. They had
You talking about the Arkansas Democrat?
Yeah, Democrat.
Okay.
So they had the teachers yesterday had the teachers union yesterday had a meeting. LREA had a meeting down at the Center Street Church. I read the article this morning, and it was more than disgusting. And I just wonder what we're gonna do.
What do you mean it was more than disgusting?
Well, the whole thing was about them. We've yet to hear any conversations about kids, and that's been consistent throughout this whole ordeal. That we have yet to hear about kids.
What good would that do right now?
Well, I think if we ever had a conversation about kids, it would be really helpful. But right now, nobody's talking about kids. Everybody's talking about everything else.
The government's talking about kids.
It goes back to It goes back to black bodies. It goes back to the value of black folk. And I refuse. And I know the rest of y'all don't care about value for black folk, but we need value. We need to let people know that we have value, and we didn't let them know how that value looks. The thing that really blew my mind was at the end of the article, she made a quote that I thought was really unnecessary.
She being who?
Teresa Gordon.
Okay.
Teresa Knapp Gordon. She says at the end of the article, as the students say, we need to get woke.
Y'all need to get woke.
We need to get woke.
Where you been? You should have been woke 5 years ago.
My point exactly.
It's too late now.
But
I told y'all.
It still shows the disconnect in our city. It still shows the disconnect between the races. Not only the races, but it also shows the disconnect between us as a community. Because why are we still allowing this kind of nonsense to continue? Why have we not created our own movement to say that this is no longer acceptable, that you will no longer abuse black bodies this way? But we haven't done that. And so, for me, everything is connected. the book of John verdict, everything else, it's all connected. All of it. Just wanted to share.
Well, I agree with you, but you just made my point about that seminal moment.
This ain't seminal. Black folks ain't gonna do nothing.
Listen to what I'm saying.
You always want to try to black folk for the rise.
No, listen to what I'm saying.
Ahead, I'm listening.
Gosh, you just
I'm listening. Go ahead.
you're just so sympathetic today.
Okay, go ahead.
You ought to be happy.
Go ahead.
Uh,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
At some point.
Okay, some point.
To your point, Robert, is black people do have to start making the point that our bodies matter. That's what I've been saying all along, and that's why I was thinking that this particular case would be that tipping point. But again, and I'm happy she's found guilty, but again, because she was found guilty, black people now are saying, whew, see, the system worked. We can just keep on doing what we're doing. But you're right. Until black people start holding others accountable and ourselves accountable for our situation, then it's going to continue, brothers and sisters. It really is. At what point do you plan for the next one? You know it's going to happen again. It has taken 5 years for people in this city to realize that the governor was pulling a fast one on you. I've been telling you for a year that the governor told you 4 years ago to kiss his ass. Y'all don't want to hear that. Politicians didn't want to hear it. Parents, students, nobody. And everybody was attacking everybody else but the person who was over this whole process of taking over the schools, and that was the governor of Arkansas. And nobody decided, okay, how, and Robert, you're right, how is it that we don't have a public relations campaign with parents? You got parents out there who are just as indifferent about this as everybody else because they're uninformed. So when you say we got to get woke, you need to resign. Where you been?
Who resigned?
The lady who made that comment.
She's the head of the union.
Even more so to the point. She needs to resign. You got to get woke. This has been going on for 5 years. Where the hell have you been? That's my point. This is not something that just happened. This is not something that just fell in your lap. They told you, and then now news has come out that the state fudged the numbers. I was reading an article yesterday afternoon where the states, the testing scores that they use to say that, oh, well, the schools have gotten bad, they actually fudged the numbers.
No, said it so.
Yes, they did. That's crazy. This is like trying to fix a dam when it's already broken. All the homes are flooded downstream. Everybody dead. Cows floating. Little raccoons trying to swim. Only people happy are the beavers. Okay? This ain't going back. Unless you take some drastic steps. Now what are you willing to do? Every time you say, well, why don't y'all strike? Oh, we can't strike. Well, what you gonna do?
Nothing.
Exactly. So why are you gonna get woke if you're not gonna do anything? That's what this is the same when I tell black people, oh, we woke. Well, what are you doing to show you woke?
Ain't did nothing, not gonna do nothing.
You just it's a nice little catchphrase. Sounds like you cool. When you woke, that means woke is also a impetus to do something, to act. If you're woke, then you're doing something to show you are woke. Like listening to this show.
Oh, that makes you woke. Man, get out of here.
Oh, you're gonna sit on our show and criticize our show. Really, Robert? Really? Really?
Listen to our show don't make you woke.
Really?
Getting out there in the street and doing something make you woke.
It's an impetus
being woke is a form of action. To be woke, you have to take action.
What is listening?
Listening is not taking action. You
listen
to church on Sundays, but you don't take no damn action. Now what, Dave? Come on!
This ain't church.
Come on, Dave.
Lord knows it ain't church.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying myself. All I'm saying is
so miserable right now.
Why are you so angry today, Robert? You got a cute little shirt on, got your little pink in there, got your little lavender green, kind of like the rainbow.
You got jokes.
You know, got your little pink man on the horse with the little club. You know, they used to beat up black people with them clubs, don't you? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Let's see, Kimberly Forger, Dave the House Christian. Y'all need to be more specific. Yes, convicted, but justice served. Eye for an eye. The puppet master allowed her to take one for the team, and she is convicted. Yet, let me see if I can get the rest of this. Hang on, I'm going to go and read it somewhere else so I can read all of it. Just hang on.
I don't see no wind, dog.
Okay. All right, here we go. So, let's see. Eye for an eye. The puppet master allowed her to take one for the team, and she is convicted. Yet she will get sentenced as if a misdemeanor traffic violation or a manslaughter when we know across the board it was ill will. I agree. I think it's going to be 5 years. I don't think it's going to be 10.
Oh, gosh.
Then,
she might get probation. Y'all just going too far.
Too
deep.
She ain't gonna get probation. That black judge ain't gonna let her get probation.
Y'all digging too deep.
That sister.
Black folk, if they come back and say she gonna get probation, black folk, well, we got the guilty verdict. That's all that matters. She was found guilty. Whatever.
Kim said they woke and praying.
That's ugly on so many levels. That's ugly on so many levels.
But it's so true on so many levels.
That's ugly on so many levels.
But it's so true on all of those levels.
Dear God, help someone, Father.
That's been the downfall of us for the longest.
Yeah.
Let me pray about it, brother. Let me see what the Lord has me to do.
You know your house burnt down. What you gonna do? You gonna build it back now? I'm just gonna go pray.
Well,
you know your son got shot by the police.
Karen, will you quit? Will you quit throwing a wet blanket on our glee today? Talking about she gonna get 5 years.
Who?
Okay.
Who said that?
Shake their head and let's see. Kim Forger says she ain't getting 10. Black folks gonna act just like they was with those Arabs. Don't really know what that means. Oh, I know what you're talking about. When the Arabs beat up the black woman. Shake their heads and turn on the Maury Show. Ooh, you just rough today, Kim. Baby, you okay? Everybody group hug for Kim. Group hug. Oh. I agree with you, though.
Yeah. What time we know the verdict?
Well, they're in the sentencing phase now. That could take all afternoon or it could be soon. Okay.
All right, check back. See if they.
You know, let me go out there and see if there's anything out here.
And see what they're talking about.
You know, that we can glean.
Let's listen in for 5 minutes. It's live, right? It's live streaming, right?
I don't know. Let me see if I can find a live stream.
Let's listen in and see what they're talking about for 5 minutes. Let's see if there's anything because it can always give us an indication of which way it's going.
Let me go to WFAA. Because that was the Dallas station that I was getting the news from earlier. Let me see if we can get something from them as it relates to the trial. In fact, they were live streaming the entire. That's where every evening, even in the mornings, when I'd come into the studio, the first thing I would do was pop on the trial because I wanted to hear for myself. Because I wasn't convinced that she would even be convicted. I just wasn't. Okay, and
I'm still not sure yet till I hear the sentence. Okay,
this is let me see here. Oh, this says live right here. Let's see what we got. So the jury's not in.
Huh?
Jury's not in on that. That's preliminary stuff right there. So we'll keep.
Hold on. Let me. What? Oh.
They talking about Guyger?
Yeah, let's listen to this. So she applied multiple times.
Provided by the defendant throughout the application process through the Dallas Police Department, including her social media Pinterest account name. It includes the polygraph information related to her application to the Dallas Police Department as well, and statements and things that she's made.
You said a polygraph?
That's correct, Your Honor.
What was the name of the polygraph?
The defendant failed her first polygraph with the Dallas Police Department.
Well.
And not to admit the actual contents of, I guess, the polygraph itself, the fact that she failed it, and that was part of the reason why she applied the second time. And that was police department allowed her time to reapply.
Are you alleging that there's something obvious in social media?
Yes, Your Honor, there are certain posts that were made by the defendant on her Pinterest account that I think is relevant for the trier of fact to consider.
I saw those.
What were they?
They were pretty rough.
Like what?
About something. One of them was like, "Be happy I didn't kill you today."
What?
Yeah, something to that effect.
That's going to be a copy of the defendant's internal affairs file, a division file in the Dallas Police Department. And particularly within that file, there are certain allegations for misconduct that was sustained against the defendant, or that she received counseling. Sorry, that she received counseling for it.
You had an opportunity to Stacy's in February 401 402.
Yes, Your Honor.
And the license law.
Yes, Your Honor.
And on what basis are you offering these?
All purposes.
Which one is this?
That should be 401.
If you just joined the show, we are listening live to WFAA, the sentencing phase of the Amber Guyger trial. The prosecution is trying to admit evidence for the sentencing phase about personnel, about her lying as it relates to a polygraph test.
Years ago, that what is not relevant is so distant in time from the conduct that is the subject of this case. Also, it contains unadjudicated admissions of unadjudicated offenses and acts, or contains missions or references, traffic tickets, smoking marijuana, things like that that are that the state should have to prove each and every act beyond a reasonable doubt. So it's has a considerable amount of hearsay as far as the reasons for that she was rejected. That was hearsay from other officers.
Okay, we're talking about
State Executive 400, that's just a 2012 application, Your Honor.
yeah, I don't see any of that.
In State 400, Your Honor, it mentions the fact that the defendant was denied by the Fort Worth Police Department, and that's the first application of the Dallas Police Department.
Because that's
How is that hearsay?
It's hearsay. We don't know the context of what the Fort Worth Police Department decided, and it's not wrong.
And if I may respond, Your Honor, these are admissions made by the defendant. This is information that the defendant wrote on application seeking employment of the Dallas Police Department.
She shouldn't have been a damn cop.
To the DFW Airport Police, although it doesn't indicate his position.
And that's correct, Your Honor.
You're listening to the sentencing phase. They're going over some evidence as it relates to the Amber Guyger trial right here on joynetradio.com. She lying.
July of 2009, June of 2009.
Well, there's some other interesting information that has come out of this. Amber Guyger apparently used to be a pothead. I ain't mad at you. Okay, I don't think smoking pot is a big problem anyway, as far as I'm concerned. So that's cool. Russ Raycop's online. He did mention the fact that she deleted her Instagram post as well that were pretty damning. I saw some of those as well. This was a woman who was out there proud to have her badge and she was birthed a badass from what I could discern from my Instagram accounts. So her charging into that room to kill Botham Jean, based on what we saw on her Instagram account, is not a surprise to me, but you know, I'm biased here. 855-525-5683 is the number. That's how you get in touch with us. We're waiting on the sentencing. Hopefully this will be done by today. I'm probably sure those jurors want to go home, so they might as well go ahead and slap her with a life. I'd accept like 39 years. 39 years. That would be good for me. 39 and 3 months. Now you know what I'm saying? 39 years and 364 days, 11 hours, and 59 and a half minutes.
You tripping.
I'm sorry. Let's go back to the trial.
Process is not relevant and more prejudicial than appropriate.
Yes, Your Honor, that's the personnel file, and the
No.
state, I know it's quite voluminous, Your Honor, and the state, in order to not create a situation, especially when it comes to polygraph, the state, as far as 401, there was a page in there that mentions the defendant's social media accounts where the defendant self-reported which accounts you have and the names of those accounts. If that is the only page of state's 401 that the court will allow, the state is fine with that.
Okay, so just so we're clear, allegedly this exhibit,
State's 401.
contains 334 pages.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And there are a host of flags that you.
That's correct, Your Honor. And I can point out exactly which one
assuming that the city of Dallas and the redaction of the
Yes, Your Honor.
identifying information.
That is correct.
That's,
What they're doing now, this is a second exhibit, a second document that they want to use as the sentencing phase, part of the sentencing phase for Amber Guyger, that relates to her social media accounts. Some of which she tried to scrub. I just mentioned what Russ said about her Instagram. I did see her Pinterest account that was posted on Facebook as well. So they're trying to determine whether or not these will be part of the evidence that the jury will be able to view during the sentencing phase.
That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. And names for those different accounts. There's more information in there, but I believe, as the defense has mentioned, there were some objections to other things, and including, more specifically, there was the polygraph that the defendant, that's listed within that State's 401. The relevance or the purpose for the polygraph is that the defendant failed her first polygraph, but that, of course, is related in connection to the usage or the recency of usage, amongst other things.
so the examiner asked the question if it was 2011 was the last time you used.
Judge kind of cute.
She is. She is kind of sexy.
Got French nails, looking all sassy. Go on, sister mama girl, got your little white pearls on.
Punish me, girl.
Is that in sub?
Tammy Kemp. Tammy Kemp, you sexy thing.
But you don't want to.
Groupon?
I didn't know. I don't know. Groupon was.
That's crazy.
I have to make decisions in the parliament, trying to understand.
She's just offering one page from the personnel file, and you just identify that that's the 3 social media accounts. And I don't have an objection to that.
For that portion of the personnel file.
Have one page.
No objection to the one page identifying social media.
That's correct, Your Honor.
This person
Yes, Your Honor.
That does seem a little incredulous, though. You know what I'm saying?
What's that?
That you have a 394 page personnel file, and you have what I would consider incriminating evidence about you stealing. What I don't care if it was a penny, you still stole, you know. But you only want to issue. You just want to get one page out of it, which that seems peculiar. But you know,
I think they want. I think they want to put on the record that she's stolen.
Right.
To create a history of criminal activity.
But they don't want to address that. They just want to address the Instagram accounts, the social media accounts.
I think this is a roundabout way to get this in the record without having it in the record, because I don't think for whatever reason they can get it in the record.
Right.
So they're doing a roundabout to get it in. That's what it seems like.
Okay.
Because the defense attorney kept saying that this is hearsay or whatever the case was.
Let's go back and see what else we got here. By the way, you're listening to the sentencing phase of the Amber Guyger trial, coming from WFAA, their live stream on JoyNetRadio.com.
Yes, there is different, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Let me just go to the first plea tab. Are you there or what?
I am. I was gonna say, if it's okay for the court, I can direct you to the ones exactly, because it should be listed. Okay. The first one, Your Honor, is going to be the defendant received a sustained finding through an internal affairs investigation for adverse conduct, violating Dallas Police Department Code of Conduct, and offending under control number 2018-183.
Okay.
Which should have a date of September 24, 2018.
That was recent.
That's when she did the shooting.
And this is a control number that resulted in the defendant's termination of employment with the Dallas Police Department.
I'm sorry, you said that again?
This control number in violation is directly resulted in the defendant's termination of employment from the Dallas Police Department.
This one, which identifies, all I have on here is January 11, 2017 DVR program violation.
And that's another one, Your Honor.
Announcement, September 25th, 2017, chase policy violation.
Then that's another one, Your Honor.
You see that?
So I get, you need the page.
That's correct, yes, Your Honor.
So what they're discussing here is that these are violations that Amber Guyger did prior to the shooting, which is in her personnel file.
Right on. Amber Guyger got problems right now.
Yeah, that 5 years may not be right there. I'm just saying, we might be getting a little bit more here.
Who's gonna do the sentencing? The judge or
the jury? The jury decides how much time she gets. I don't think the jury is in here. This is stuff that they're going to give to the jury. You understand what I'm saying? So the jury is probably not in there right now. Judge Kemp on her stuff. She's trying to make sure that ain't gonna be no mistrial, no appeals.
We don't want no hanky panky. We want this to be 100% legit. I wonder if she's getting death threats.
Who, Judge?
Yeah. I'll be her bodyguard.
Robert, we're trying to have a serious moment here.
Oh, she got a ring on. She married. I wonder how her husband looks. Let's Google her, see how her husband looks.
stop it. Gosh. I imagine though when she dresses up, boy, she's a nice looking sister.
I think she's pretty hot.
I'm just saying, good to see a powerful sister on the bench right there. No kidding about that. You're listening to the Amber Guyger trial. We're just kind of having a little fun here. We thought since since this is such explosive news, we just got the verdict earlier. And they went into the sentencing phase at 1 o'clock, and right now they are presenting evidence to be given to the jury for them to consider as it relates to her character, conduct, job performance, things of that nature.
Dang! Well, when you Google stuff, you find out a lot.
All right, what you done?
Dallas Police Association proudly endorses Tammy Kemp, District Judge. Second, 204th Judicial District. Oh, it didn't help y'all this time, did
I
it?
bet you it didn't.
She won't be getting I don't think she'll be getting one from them this time.
Well, probably wasn't much she could do, and this was kind of like an open and shut case. I mean, she did let the counsel doctoring in, which she shouldn't have. Amber Guyger wasn't defending her house. She had broken into somebody else's house. That's what the counsel doctrine is for, that you have the right to shoot and kill someone to defend your property, self, or person. Okay? Amber Guyger broke into someone else's house. That was not her house. The fact that they allowed her to try to use that argument, and grateful that the district attorney debunked that yesterday in his closing arguments as well. He specifically told the jury what the counsel doctrine was, what it meant, when it is applied. And it certainly didn't apply in this particular case whatsoever. Now, it's a stupid law from what I understand. Arkansas has something similar on the books here. But at the end of the day, that doctrine should have never been allowed to be used as a defense.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any other objections to that?
Yes, Your Honor. With regard to investigation control number 2018-183, the report contains actions completed by other officers and reports of officers that is hearsay within hearsay. The report also contains guarantee information derived by my client that normally the district attorney's office has redacted, but in this case, there's a page there's part of the investigation which says what summarizes Amber Guyger's internal statement. That's a violation of Guarantee v. New Jersey.
The Gary information. I haven't read every document she just handed me for this investigation, but I have not seen the Gary information as of yet.
Very information has been redacted in the state's file, so the records through the defense received.
Let's see.
All right, well, we got a few minutes to go in the show. I don't think that we're going to get any verdict as far as the sentencing is concerned before we leave the air today. Certainly,
You want to know about Tammy? I got some information about Tammy.
See, we're trying to have a serious moment, and Robert is up here Googling the judge.
Oh, yeah, she's hot. So Tammy graduated from the University of Oklahoma in 1984. She graduated from law school in 88.
So she felt right there,
She right there with you, play.
Yeah.
She old, yeah.
That's all right. I might be old, but I ain't dead.
She came out in 1980, I guess. So she was 60. Oh, girl.
No, she has to be 59. No, she'll be 58. Well, 57 if she graduated yet. Yeah, she'll be 58.
It doesn't say that she is married, but her career. She came out in 1988. She was the assistant attorney. She was the assistant attorney general in Oklahoma. from 88 to 90. From 90 to 93, she was the retirement administrative law assistant at Oklahoma's Secretary of State's office. In 94 to 99, she was the assistant district attorney, business organizations, and administrative law in Dallas County. From 99 to 2000, she was a criminal law attorney in private practice. From 2006 to 2014, she was the assistant district attorney, criminal law, Dallas County. 2015 to 2018, she has served as judge at the 204th District Court. That, y'all, is Tammy. So hot. Kemp.
Robert, why do you have to always refer to her as hot? Why can you just say so intelligent?
Okay, fine. Very intelligent and sexy and hot.
See, why you got to use that terminology? See, that's just like a man. Can you not refer to an intelligent woman of just simply being intelligent?
You know what? If she wants to be intelligent, that's cool. I'm just looking at her sexuality. I can't see her intelligence right now. I can only see her sex.
Well, she is kind of cute, though.
She is kind of sexy.
I'm just saying.
Let's see. She's pretty good, man.
Anything else you want to add to
I'm looking.
Judge Kemp?
I'm looking. Doesn't seem like she's married. She doesn't have a Wiki page.
No.
She doesn't have but I found all that information on
They probably wouldn't post that anyway. But she does have a a ring on her finger. So
she's got a ring.
She's probably married. Good looking woman like that, I'm sure she's married.
She got 2 husbands, probably.
You think she got a husband and a side piece?
And a side piece, man. She's too fine. She's too fine.
You know.
And she's smart. That's what's really sexy. She's just smart.
Yeah. And you know, the other thing is, I'm proud that you've got 2 sisters on the prosecuting attorney's office that are doing their thing as well. So good for them. And I'm thinking about Rozelle, and I think Rozelle makes an excellent point. Is as part of defending our people is that we've got to get people inside the system. Okay.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to talk. Go ahead.
I think that doesn't mean that everybody's going to toe the company line. But I think it's important that we do have people who look like us on the juries, the judges, defense attorneys, prosecuting attorneys. You got to be part in the system in order to understand how the system is going to work against you. So I think that, not that had any influence on this particular trial one way or the other, but I think Rozelle makes some good points related to that. You just don't like Rozelle. You just don't like to agree with Rozelle. That's what your problem is.
I love agreeing with Rozelle. Rozelle's an intelligent brother. I love intelligent black men. Not in a sexual way, of course.
I was gonna say y'all dating now.
Not in a sexual way, of course. But I love intelligent black men.
So, but yeah, that's it's pretty cool. I'm proud of all those sisters who have been participating in this and making things happen. So, good for them. No ifs, ands, or buts about them. We'll just wait and see. Don't know that we'll get any. Well, we've got 4 minutes to go in the show today, and I don't know that we'll get any results because they're still trying. They're still quibbling over the evidence that's going to be submitted to the jury. But what we do know is that Amber Guyger has been found guilty of murder. Now, some of you all might want to say that's justice. I don't think it is yet. And it won't be justice unless she gets at least 10 years. I would say 11 years. I don't want them to give her less than 10 years and she's able to walk around out here while she's on appeal, because that appeal could be 2 years. I mean, she can still go to Hawaii, to Fiji, have a good time, have one last hurrah. She might even want to say, hey, I want to get pregnant before I go to jail. That way I can at least have a baby before I get out.
She's a Delta. No, I think that's the other one, though.
That's okay.
Yeah, I think that's
Oop. It's oop.
I don't know.
Is it?
I have no idea, but I know that that's not it. I know that one didn't work.
Well, she's in the crimson and cream then. Okay. Delta. Okay. Go on, girlfriend. LaTanya's still saying she's getting more than 10 years. I hope you're right, LaTanya. I'll be glad.
LaTanya, just give me my quarter.
I'll be glad to give you my quota, baby. I hope you're right. So I'll even buy you some ice cream, babies. Go down over there to Lob Lolly. Is that the name of it? You know what would be interesting? God, I'm sorry. I was just curious. Like, is there any black people in here that has an ice cream parlor? Any black people in Little Rock? That's a business idea, by the way. Just saying. 855-525-5683 is the number. That's how you get in touch with us if you want to. Well, we've only got about 2 minutes to go in the show, so we're not going to get a resolution as far as what's going on as it relates in time and I want my money too. She gonna send Buster Brown after you don't give her a quarter. A man killed over a quarter. Word is that Robert Weld owed LaTanya Grimes a quarter, and he didn't pay up in a timely manner. LaTanya Grimes, who was a reasonable young black sister, felt that she had had enough. She needed her quota like a hog needed slop. And with that emotional tug on her soul, she decided to take Robert out by running over him on a big wheel. Back to you, Bob.
Bring your big wheel.
Hey, we got to get out of here. I hope you all enjoyed the show, and I hope you enjoyed the live look in on the Amber Guyger sentencing portion of the trial. Amber Guyger, again, is guilty of murder, and hopefully she'll get the book thrown at her. And one other note, if this could continue to happen, maybe it'll stop happening, if you get my drift. But anyway, gotta go. Hope you enjoyed the show. Roberto?
I just want to give a shout out to the Botham John family. Much love to y'all today. Hey, spend money in your own community. If you don't, nobody else will. Peace.
And I, too, want to give a shout out to the Botham John family. And Judge Kemp, call a brother.
For real,
Oh, man.
You've been listening to Black Focus, where we discuss our issues with our solutions and our voices. Join us every weekday afternoon at 1 p.m. on joinetradio.com.
Yeah, it fell off. What you mean something wrong with you?
Yeah, I'm trying to lose weight, man. I'm not eating shit, man. I just feel
That ain't how you lose. Are you working out?
Yeah, I'm doing that too.
You're not eating. Are you using protein?